my name is Stacy. I'm known here as flightyrambler, and I'd like to welcome you to my channel today. And today I am happy to be able to show you some thrifty finds that I've picked up around town and surrounding areas. I am so thrilled. Oh my goodness, I have some really fun finds and I am really thrilled to be able to share them with you. So it's hashtag Thrifty Thursday, hashtag Thrifty Canucks. Thrifty Thursday is hosted by Sherry over at Turquoise Dreaming. Thrifty Canucks, of course, was introduced to us by Kim Newberg. Both Kim and Sherry have lists of all participants in their description boxes. I'll have links to both of their channels in the description box below. Go check out Sherry and Kim. They have wonderful videos regularly on Thursdays, as well as all their participants. I'm going to begin today's video with my books that I found. This book here, The Tree and Shrubs Expert, a complete guide to the selection and care of trees and shrubs for your garden. Now, in my Restore store, I found this one in my town. This softcover book was $1, right? And the only date I saw in it, and I looked it over quite good, was only from 1993. There was another of this book, but it was a newer publication, and it had shinier pages. So I went with the older one with the more mattified. It has a bit of a shine, but not much as the glossy pages in the newer version. Yeah, so this paper is lovely with not much of a high gloss. And wow, I opened it and I was just enchanted by these illustrations. And it just kept giving. As I flipped through the book, it just kept giving. There's pictures, but then there's an illustration, and it's the illustrations that I love more than the pictures. I mean, each of them could either be cut out, fussy cut, or the whole information card could get cut out, and that could be something on its own. I mean, this book just keeps going on and on with just these wonderful, wonderful illustrations. And, you know, I sat down at this Restore store and looked through the gardening section books, all those books one by one by one. Normally, I'm a little frazzled because of the other people always around, so I tend to speed read through the sections, but I sat down and deliberately took my time to look through the books at this store, and I'm glad I did because I found this marvelous find. I was really happy to find it. I'm a speed reader from way back when I was a youngster in elementary school, and you know, there was that program where you would read a book, do a book report on it, and then you'd get a star. And yeah, I got top marks for that for sure. I was definitely a speed reader. I'd go into the library and just inhale sections of authors. You know, whenever I found a book I like and there was a series of it, I'd read it all. Like, that's just how my youth and young adult life was. I just read a lot. I just lost myself in stories It was an escape mechanism for sure. My childhood was kind of tumultuous, and so escaping into books was, you know, a refuge for me. And I love libraries. Libraries are a refuge. They're like a second home and all that stuff. So yeah, libraries and books and speed reading. So it's interesting that my library is so sparse at the moment, you know, for reading, but for, you know, arting, it's large and in charge. So this is a functional mathematics book. I found it at the Restore store as it was, you know, put out to be put out on the sell shelf. And I'm like, no. And it was falling apart, and that's what drew me to it. I love old books. If I see one, I'm going to be looking at it. And it has a deteriorating spine, but it doesn't have any smell. So it was, you know, I'm looking at it and I realized that I don't have any math books in my art library, but I do now. This functional mathematics. So it looks like it was copywritten in 1956, 1957, and Wow. Wow, right? I have a lot of dictionaries and foreign languages, but I didn't have any numbers, like any equations or anything like that. But thanks to this book, I do now. There's marvelous numbers, plenty of equations, and it has like that nice thicker paper, but it's not brittle. So I think it'll just be thirsty and it'll soak up a lot of medium though. I think it has a fabulous patina, and the two-tone with the red and black, just amazing. Love it. And I'm like thinking of the books again. Like I read a lot. I mean, I speed read, so I can devour a book in a very short amount of time. And so when I have a weekend and I decide I'm going to read, I read, and it's, but it's not until I began finding some personal power, and growing through arting and art journaling that I stopped reading as much, because my life just got more interesting and I have so much I want to do. So these days I still read, not as much, by far not as much, but I no longer speed read. It's a very deliberate choice I made to slow down so I can absorb the story better, rather than it just becoming a collection of, things I kind of sort of remember. So I had to make that choice to really slow down and read. I've got 2 books on the go right now, and honestly, because of summer, it's taken me months to read them, which is a stunning fact for me to say out loud, because I usually can read a book in no time flat. So it's really interesting that it's taking me so long to read these books. So next we have this cookbook, The Telephone Pioneers, Chapter 53, from 1858 to 1958. The red really drew my attention, and look at the illustration on the front. It has the 2 ladies, one from the 1800s and one from the 1950s. Just fabulous illustration there. The red always draws my attention, and this is a BC chapter for 1958-1959. And that first page has to be handwritten. Oh wow, it looks fabulous. They are. And the first one here is like, the first one is how to cook a husband. And that's a very interesting recipe, to be sure. How to cook a husband. You can pause the video and have a look at that if you like. And on the red separators, they have wonderful drawings as well of each of the sections. And there's all those beautiful typewritten recipes. I have been considering buying a typewriter, but I'm not fully convinced. I quite haven't, fully talked myself into it yet. That's how I learned how to start keyboarding, was on a typewriter, and I kind of miss it. But at the same time, I have a computer. It's just the nostalgic hit to it. And honestly, it might take up a bit too much space, but part of me really wants a typewriter, so we'll see. There's some staining in this book, and that's fully okay with me. I might even keep some of these recipes. They look interesting. And then we come to my final book. It is a really old, beat up book. Like I said, I spent time going through the section at the Restore store, and wow, good thing, because this beat up thing was stuck between a couple of books. It's the Totem Guide, Birds of North America. Look how beat up it is. I don't know if it's because it's been used and well loved, or if it's just beat up for the sake of, not being cared for. But either way, fabulous find from 1979. It has like thicker than regular paper, but not cardstock thickness. So really nice paper. And come on, look at these colored illustrations. Oh, I died. I love so many birds, just so beautifully laid out. There's wonderful information. It would, the only thing about this one is that it would be difficult to decide which birds on which page to choose, because you sacrifice another great drawing on the opposite page. Sad face. Sad face. Oh. And there's a scorecard in the back that has interesting lists of species and numbers, which would be a really diverse page for collage. So lots of stuff to look at on this book. I guess I could consider digitizing some of this old stuff. That's not really something I've done in the past. I've always just, made the sacrifice and chose a side, but kind of something to consider for sure. And then that's the end of the books. I'm going to continue with paper stuff that I found. And the first are these note cards. And it's another bird themed thing. I seem to have found a few bird items, and I certainly do not mind. I am not complaining. I am utterly fascinated by books, and older ones always draw my attention. And these note cards are so cute. The price is right too, right? 50 cents for a package of blank note cards with such a pretty illustration on the front. Oh, just so pretty. And some more birds. Wow. The art on these are just so nice. Just so nice. So pretty. And even the envelopes are really nice. They have a scallop around the fold flap, like the flap that you fold down, has a really nice scalloped edge on it. So yeah, we have these cards. I'm not quite sure what the original intention was for them, but I know what I'm going to use them for. Who knows? Everything, anything, yeah. I'm still thinking about books. I mean, I'm probably drawn to paper products because of my love for books. And so stationery, books, papers, all of it, I have been in love with it my whole life. And look at this beautiful stationery here. I mean, look at the birds. It's a theme. There's a cute little puffin. There's some penguins and some other birds. Look at that beautiful illustration of all those flowers and the foliage. Just a nice little bundle of it, of that great paper. Those envelopes do not go with this stationery. It just does not. It's just some envelopes they found and put in there. But the security pattern is really pretty and unique. I don't have one like that. It's a gray plaid, so really nice. So I'll consider that as a win. I have two columnar books in this haul. That first one was the red compact one with the typical green paper. And this is a larger pad with really interesting different coloration with the white and the red and blue. And looks like some pages are missing. It goes from page 9 to 70, which means there's 61 fabulous pages to use. And then I have this great calendar from 2021. Oh my goodness, look at them. I mean, it's a large picture. I usually don't work in this scale, but those are just beautiful, beautiful flower arrangements. Just so nice. It reminds me of like a shabby chic kind of style. Okay. So I have a story to tell about how I got my hands on some player piano paper. Jen over at Jennifer Dirtle Art, I'll have a link to this video in the description box below. She had a haul video recently where she found a local junk journaler destashing on Facebook Marketplace. Now, I do not use Facebook, but Jen's video had me too curious. So I was curious about the potential deals found on Marketplace. So I logged on for the first time in forever, went over to Marketplace and did some searches for all kinds of ephemera that us artists look for. And one of them was player piano paper. I don't have any in my stash. I've looked on Etsy, I've looked on Amazon, but I hadn't quite committed to buying any yet. But so I did my search on that Marketplace and found a couple of listings. A fellow in a couple towns over was selling like 30 boxes of this stuff for $400. And I'm like, yikes. I only wanted one box. And so there was another listing and this lady had some really poor, like they were not good pictures, but it said $10, right? So I was like, okay, I messaged her and said, is it available? And the next day she said yes. And so I asked if I could buy one. And time went by, so a whole day went by before she messaged me again and said, hey, there's water damage. And you know what? I'll give you the box for free. The box of them for free. It's difficult to tell in the picture. I thought there was maybe three boxes because that's all you could see in the picture. And so I said, yes, please. you know, I tried to be calm about it, but I was really excited. And so we made arrangements for me to pick it up. She would just leave it on the porch and I'd go pick it up. And I guess I imagine that in that time, you know, that she took to get back to me, that she had other interested folks who said no thank you because of the water damage. But I don't mind a little bit of water damage. I'll see what you got. There might be something there to harvest. And so we made arrangements and I finally picked them up, and oh my God, the damage to the rolls is like maybe on the first couple of, you know, parts of it, you know, the first little bit of it, but then, you know, the rest of it is nice. It has great patina. I mean, oh my goodness. Okay, let me slow down. I got so excited here. So minimal damage, and the boxes, some of them are in rough shape, but you know what? When I got and I picked it up, I saw what the water damage was. My heart went out to her. Looks like they're living in an RV because the house on the property was gutted by fire. And so like I was just so sympathetic toward her. She had to like obviously get rid of some things. Oh my goodness, but her loss, my gain. Wow, there's 20 rolls of it. 20 rolls. I was not expecting 20 rolls. Oh my goodness, what a bargain. Artists like me love old paper. I mean, I don't mind if there was a smell. There isn't a smell. There's no musty, there's no mold. And I could see that only a date on a couple of them were from the 1940s. And I'm still stunned by my luck there. So that was a total win. And some friends asked if I'll try to scan the papers to digitize the music. And honestly, I hadn't even crossed my mind. Like, I mean, to digitize old papers, I don't do that yet. I don't know. Oh, wow. Okay, so second story time. On that Facebook marketplace, I did a search for flashcards and was just floored at a listing that offered a lot of math cards for $5. And I was like, what? I mean, in the pictures, I saw that there were some older cards that were being offered, and I quickly arranged to pick them up and buy them. And oh my God, there were so many numbers. Look at all the numbers, the different fonts, the different shapes and styles. Oh my goodness, so many big numbers to add to collages, or, you know, I don't do junk journaling, but I just might add these as tip-ins or pockets or something. Like, wow, Facebook Marketplace had a few bargains for me in the past couple of weeks. I'm just blown away. I'm blown away. Then we have this bag full of buttons from the Restore store. I have no idea if buttons, how you tell if they're old or not. I should probably watch a video on that and get learned. But I mean, 50 cents, I'm going to add them to the button jar, and my grandnephew Mason just loves playing with the button jar, so it's all good. When I went to pick up the player piano paper, in the same neighborhood was a garage sale. So yeah, I stopped in and they had a lot of items, but it's mostly garage stuff, antique car stuff, camping gear. And this bowl was cute. It was only $1, so it was fun to poke around, and it reminded me that like my grandparents every weekend would go around town garage sailing, and it's a really fond memory. So my sister and I have plans to go yard sailing this weekend. We'll see how it goes. And a tile, a single tile. It's a cute tile. I'm actually going to use this as a palette for my gel polishes if I want to do any custom mixing. It'll work out well. I mean, it'll just wipe away because it's, you know, a fired tile and it has a smooth surface, so. Oh my goodness, Marketplace. Oh, Marketplace. So this lady had a couple of listings. I bought these 3 for $12. Okay. I bought 3 more. I'm going to go pick them up tomorrow, so they'll be in the next haul video. But wow. I mean, she has a lot. She was destashing a lot, but I only liked this one, and then, you know, she had added more, and so I'll go get those ones at another time. But these are the ones I have now. I mean, I like them. I like these. Like a lot of stamps I bypass because I just won't use them, but I'll use these. These are fun. I mean, she hasn't even taken the sticker out to put it on the back of it because she kept them in the boxes. I don't know if I will keep these stamps in the cases or if I'll take them out and add them to my stamp collection loosey-goosey like the rest of them. And to finish off my Thrifty Thursday, Thrifty Canucks, we have some napkins. We have oranges. Oh, what a pretty pattern. What a pretty pattern. And a beautiful scalloped edge. And the next is an avocado. Avocado pattern. I love it. I love avocados. They're really good. I love them on eggs and toast. And the last is this floral pattern with a brown background, a beige neutral background. And it's a beautiful napkin. I'll show a close-up here in a moment, and the flowers are tiny. And that looks like that's it for this video. I'd like to thank you for watching me share all my thrifty finds and the bargains that I've hunted down in the past while. I've had so much fun finding them and sharing them with you. And of course, some of these things will be available in my Etsy shop very soon. I'll have a link to my shop in the description box below. And I'd really appreciate it if you would like this video and subscribe to my channel. And I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.